Hi, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the technical trader from the TechTrader.com, a site that's been around since the early 2000s. I think, from what I've been told, one of the first live trading rooms on the internet back in July of 2001. I've been around over 60 years doing this technical analysis type day trading and swing trading. I'm here to answer your questions on any stocks that you're interested in. If you have a question, I would love you to throw up some symbols, and we'll go with that. David, where in the chat, I guess would be the symbols, right? So far, I'm not seeing any. So I'll throw out a couple until they come out of stocks that we traded today based on my technical day trading skills. I wanted you to see this one in particular because it was a home run for us. Stock opened with a pop, pulled back, formed a wedge. We put a day trade on it when it started moving at about the 10 3/4 range. Within 4 hours, it was 19 and change, pulled back, and here it is pressing the highs near the end of the day. I wouldn't be shocked to see an afternoon or even after hours run out. You can see the monster move. This is the Tech Trader swing, by the way. If it broke out here from the big base that had formed over several months on huge volume, we went in around the 4 1/4, 3/4 range, I believe, in that area. Within a couple of weeks, it was trading at 9. Then it coiled for 3-4 weeks, and today was the exploding day on only 160 million share traded today, and it's still running. We do have some symbols, so I will start with my take on MARA. And folks, it always helps if you're looking for intermediate, long-term, or short-term trading, so I can give you my take because there is a difference. On MARA today, with the crypto, with Bitcoin snapping back, MARA had a beautiful run and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave advance. Now I told my traders to take profits, but that never really backed off much. It formed a late bull flag, as you can see, over the last several hours, and then broke out. On a longer term daily basis, this stock had been a laggard in the crypto world of late, but you can see today's action brings it back into the fold. However, declining top sign, moving average, converging at around the 20 3/4 to 21 1/2 zone. This is what it's got to get through. If you see MARA above 19 3/4, I think you might see 22 1/2 and 24 3/4 on an extension. But it's important it doesn't fail here, because if it does, it could come down into the mid 16 18 zone. So be careful with that. And the next stock is ET, phone home. That's the oil stock. Fabulous chart. I've noted this in my weekend webinars pretty much every week. Oil stock with declining oil market until recently. This stock never looked back and has been for the last 3.5 years going nothing but up, from 4 to nearly 20. Recently tagged 2002. Came down in a little mini 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave decline. Let me show it to you on a 15-minute chart basis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave Elliott wave pullback, and then a snapback. Should this get through 2002, here's my projections. The top of the channel, the way it looks, could mean we're going to the mid-20s, especially if it gets above 20 and change, it may start to run. That's looking pretty darn good there. Johnny, good luck with that one. Rivian is a day trade we had on today. I actually have a swing trade on it as well. When it broke out here, I put a swing on it, then got to my target, backed off and formed a wedge, and today went bonkers. 13 to 1665, trading 1642 right now, up 317 or 24% on a mere 115 million shares. It's a 6-month high. I would imagine we would retest the July high at around 19. That's my next target. And that's for ARA. Up next, MSTR. MSTR and its related ETFs, MSTX, really was at an inflection point here because you can see the gap. It filled that little mini gap and snapped back today. Is it clear? Not necessarily, no. Here's why. Not only is there a declining tops line, but there's also several kiss-back lines. This is what we call the kiss-back, when a stock breaks the trend line and snaps back to it. Could be a kiss-back type of trade. But once it clears 375, in my opinion, that's where the stock could really go strong. For now, closer look on a 15-minute basis tells me the key resistance is 362. That's your next target, maybe 365. You get through that, then you're in business. That's for MSTR. SFM sprouts. Look, on a daily chart, there's plenty better looking charts because it was a star for a year and a half, going from 30 to 160, 159, whatever it was, 155. Excuse me. Then it broke support there. Now it broke its trend line and its 50-day moving average. It got down to the gap. Let's take a look at that. Just about fill that gap. Not quite. And then bounce. Now, what I see here on a short-term basis is a little left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and a breakdown. The snapback to resistance at 139.40 is dangerous. If it doesn't get through there, and because the volume isn't heavy enough and neither are the technical strong, I would be a seller here unless I see a strong volume surge. There's two things to consider as well. That is the declining tops line and both moving average converge around 138.9. I think it's going to be very difficult for this to get through 139 unless you see a dramatic pickup in volume. Right now, SFM to me is a sell on the broken long-term trend line and the kiss back on lower volume. So that's what I would do with SFM Tessier or Tessier. Well, so we on ET, Johnny wanted a longer term perspective, no problem. Here you go. Here's a weekly chart. And the long-term perspective still is in the levels I told you. There's resistance right here going back 7-8 years. And should we get through that, then I look for a channel top around 24.5, 25. And that's my longer term perspective. Really much longer than that would be all the way up around 33, 35, right there. US foods. Well, excuse me, the daily chart, outstanding. To me, from this low, it's a 1, 2, a 3, 4, and a 5 wave. Usually after 5 waves, the stock gets a little bit exhausted in terms of the energy upside. And at this point, despite the fact how strong it looks, I'd be careful up here because it could be due for a pullback into the mid to high 50s. But the extension target, if it does get one, would be 77, 78. And that's for Tessier. An MSTR, they're looking for intermediate to 6 months. Let's take a look at it. I would say that this falling pattern here is going to have some problems getting back above resistance, which right now definitively appears at 360. Once you get to 360, the intermediate targets are 450 and 5. 450 and 5. Coin. I like CONL better because it's the tracking stock and it gives you better leverage. But in terms of coin right now, I'm disappointed in this stock. I know it rallied back today and it didn't look bad, but some of the other stocks in that group look way better, like Mara, Riot, and CLSK. Because how strong they were compared to that, which is a bit choppier. Look, it's up. The percent gain is a lot less today, 5%. The others were up, on the order of double that. So I'm not thrilled with coin, but I do like, if you want to trade it, consider CONL a lot cheaper and better leverage. It's a twice leveraged ETF for COI, and the targets are 46.7, and then we're looking at 54.5. If it gets through 47, there's heavy resistance there. We have a question from Ara on MGA. I don't like this stock at all. No, there's so many beautiful charts. Why be involved in a stock like this? Key resistance 46.75. But more importantly, and this is what I would consider, when you have a stock that's been basing and appeared to be breaking out and then rolled over and took out support in that angle, now it's retesting. Maybe it's going to extend the base and then go up longer term. But on a short-term basis, this is one ugly chart. It broke down under the moving averages. It formed a little, what I consider bear flag. Take a look. And today broke that flag to the downside. I would avoid. Long term, if it breaks out over 47, then you're on your way. But long way to go, folks. On that one, arrow up, be careful. There's better charts out there. Plexus. Again, Tessier, I'm assuming you mean longer term. I don't know, but look. Here's what I like about Plexus. Triple top base breakout. Consolidate and move up. But it does look like a five-way move off the low 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can expect some more difficulty in the pattern, maybe pullback, maybe not. But if it does extend, 195, 200 is a potential target zone up there, maybe even 205. Atomera, one of my favorites, and a tech trader swing. Folks, anytime you want to come into my site for free, trade with me for free for 2 weeks. Just go to thetechtrader.com and click on trial subscription, and you'll get into the site. No credit card necessary. Try us out. I think you're going to have a lot of fun and make a lot of money. Look at this chart in Atomera. See this pop and coil here? When it broke out right there, yours truly put a swing on it, and it was under 4. From that level, it's gone to 16. It's more than quadrupled. Today was a special day for it, but it did reach a channel top. However, my lateral resistance and target on this one was 18.5, 19 zone. I think we have more to go. Depends on momentum, but you can see how that looks like the target for me. I like it. That's for Walt Whitty. And I'm going to do Mara for West Cano. Sounds familiar, Wes. Have you ever been to my site? Wait. Okay. I think you have. So when I look at a 15-minute chart on Mara, I see a little base breakout flag. But when you're looking at a long-term target on Mara, let's go to a daily. And by the way, again, just to reiterate, Mara is a laggard in the group. It's not as strong as some of the others. Here it was a leader, but look at the last year. Not pretty, particularly the last few weeks. Now, Mara, again, key resistance, 21.5, 28, and 33. Long term, well, I'm going to do something here. Hang on. So my long-term target are 33, 53, and 70. Don't know if it does anywhere near that, and it's going to have a lot of work. It has a lot of work to do before you get there. But that's for you, Wes. Anybody else with a question for me? My website is the Tech Trader, TECH Trader.com. I think when we started out, if you go to the top of the page, you'll see, yeah, David put up https://thetechtrader.com. I need more symbols, folks, if you want me to answer your questions on any stocks. And there it is, posted by David. Okay, we got some more by Tessier. He wants to know about HWKN. Hawkins Chemicals. Obviously, a great long-term chart. There's 100% stop for me under this. I don't want this under 100. Key short-term support, 117.5. If it holds that and runs, my next target is 140, 137, and 148 in that area. 137, 148. Maybe 150. Lucid had a good day along with Rivian. Rivian had a great report. Now, Lucid stock is nowhere near with Rivian. If you take a look at RIVN, you'll see the breakout there. On the other hand, Lucy, I call them, that's what I call it. Lucid in a resistance zone. If it gets above 3.5 with energy, Then you can look forward to a 410 target, and maybe, just maybe, test that double top at 440. So your targets are 4 and 440 for Lucid. I mean, once you get through that, then you're in business. Elf on the shelf, ELF. I don't like this chart either, although it did break out and pull back, and it held support. It's a sloppy chart. It's not the kind of chart I like, but if it does pop this wedge, I would look for 148. And then beyond that, you're in business back up to 170. So that's Elf for Sabina Mini. Well, Tesla surprised a lot of people this week after looking like it, and me too, by the way. This channel broke, lateral price support broke. It got down to the next support, and today it bounced, but it didn't break out. This could be a kissback, meaning a broken channel will get a retest or a kissback. If it fails, it rolls over. You're going down to 360 and maybe even 305, 310. It's got to show me some follow through, get back above. Well, I need it above 425 to really get going. If it does, retest the highs at 490, and then go to the channel top around 565. LSF is one of my tech trader swing picks from a while back. Beautiful long-term chart, large superfoods. Pop falling wedge, pop a little pennant, pop coil, flag. It's got all those kind of a patterns. Now, you'll see a double top up here. The 1090, once you get to 1090.11, my swing target, or more intermediate target, is going to be 19. So I think it's possible if you get to 11, you've got a 7 or 8 point run coming at the top of that channel. It has, however, had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move. This is less reliable. The fifth wave is always less reliable. Fifth wave consolidation. However, if it pops to the upside out of here with volume, great. What you can do is put a stop under 685 to protect yourself, or maybe 7. Right? I would say under 7. Under 7 is going to be dangerous, but it isn't a bad pattern, of course. We'll see. Clorox, CLX. Obviously, a stock that's gone nowhere for 3 years. But it has tried to base out and had some moves recently, but it's pretty choppy. I'm going to need this to go through 171 with energy. Then your target's 178 and 188.90. 178, 188.90. 100% drop dead stop under here. Do not let this go under 155.6. That's for Vinsing. Also, AMD. AMD, look, there's so many better looking charts, but the semiconductors are not in great shape. Doesn't mean they can't snap back if we get another rally here, but it's in declining top sign, declining mode since it spiked in March. Now it's 9 months in a down channel, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however. So maybe it's come to the end of its pullback and can go again. It's going to need, though, for me to get above 132.33 with volume, and then take out the declining 50, which comes out at 137. So 132.3 and 137 targets. Beyond that, it's 144, and then 152. But work to do on this one for sure. FUL long term. Yeah, this is an ugly chart. Folks, should I say D. Patrick Hoffman? That's not right. ARA. My apologies. ARA. There's so many beautiful bullish charts on Wall Street. Quite frankly, I may surprise you with this, but if that line's broken, I would go short. As a matter of fact, if it rallies back to 66, 68 on low volume, to me, it's a short sale. Because once the stock breaks the trend line and then breaks the topping pattern and comes down, the first rally back is your key shorting point. Where's my target for cracks? Probably down around 53.50 in that area. This is not a good chart. Sorry, just isn't. Zeta is one of my favorites. It was given to me by one of my institutional clients. We put a swing on it here at 13. It ran to 37 and tripled inside of 4 or 5 months. This was some kind of bearish report from one of the short companies, but it had a 3-wave corrective rally, failed right at the resistance moving averages and rolled back. Now, do I like it? I do. But I want to see if it gets back above 20 and a quarter a half area with volume before I do anything with it. Then 26.7 is resistance and target, followed by 32. Long-term, spectacular, but anytime a stock has that kind of a run-up and gets slam dunked and forms a rising wedge, it's bearish. So until this is resolved, I would move aside. Anybody else with a question? On any stock? I wonder if I missed anything. Let's see. Doesn't look like it. Well, it appears that you guys don't have any further questions. Oh, draft, we do have a couple. NXL is one I really liked until the last day or two. I like, first of all, this was a tech trader swing when it broke out here above 2. It quickly went to 4.5, but there's triple top there. It rolled back, it's on support. You cannot let this go below 2 1/4. It did bounce back to resistance. However, it's got to get above 345 to really make a move. If it does that, 4.5 and 6 would be my targets. I like this company. I like what they're up to. If it gets above 4.5, it's rock and roll time. DraftKings. I love this chart here. I'm not crazy about it now. It's his inverse head and shoulders, but it got up to the neckline and failed. One of the good parts about this chart is it broke that, but it's pulled back to retest the trend line here. It cannot go any lower than that. Matter of fact, shoulder line of an inverse head and shoulders is often a big support area. If DraftKings gets below 35, I would exit. There was a sell put out on it today. I don't like when stocks pull back $10 with very little bounce and low volume on the bounce. So this is one I would avoid as well until I see a price volume surge, perhaps over 38, 8.5 through there for starters. That would then take out the declining tops line and moving averages and put you on your way to 45 and 50. SMCI. Well, I told my traders when it gapped up from off the low of the bottom of the channel to buy it, and it went from 21 to 48. That was a hell of a move. It's pulled back now, and what looks like a falling wedge, and it may have broke out today. For confirmation, I need through 35.50 for starters, and then through 39.75. Get through that, then you got a shot at the mid to high 40s. Not a bad chart. Not as bad as it was or looked here. MSTR. Again, we talked about it before. I would rather trade MSTX or when I think there's an MSTL, is it? I don't remember, but the bottom line is it looks fine. Let's talk Bitcoin, says Wes. Well, the Bitcoin has a head and shoulders top, folks. I don't know if you saw it. Check this out. I don't know if you can see this. Probably not. I pulled the chart over. David, can you see this Bitcoin chart? Anybody?
No.
Okay.
Still see DraftKings.
I'd have to reshare the page. I know what you mean. I'm going to go another route. Yeah, there it is. This is the exchange traded fund for Bitcoin. Now it's pretty close. I'm concerned about this being left shoulder's head and a right shoulder. But head and shoulder patterns I can learn over the years are only head and shoulders once the neckline breaks. They often are wedges. And if that's what this is, then we go to, on this one, on BTC, we can go 43 to 54.5, 52.3, up in that zone there. The reason I say that is simply this. That appears to be your angle of ascent. And this appears to be your rising channel. But you can see that 55 is the target. That's BTC. I think that equates to, it doesn't equate. I'm sorry, but I can't bring that chart up. I don't have that with me, but I can tell you right now, it's touch and go on Bitcoin. If it breaks the support level, I believe it's 91.5, then maybe we see 86 and possibly less than that. But for now, until we break out or down, this is a neutral consolidation pattern within a rising channel. It isn't bearish. I have a question on FTDR. Breakout of a base and a breakaway gap, no less, and then a coil breakout retest up. Tag 61 and change. This is beautiful. It's run from under 30 to over 60, so more than doubled. However, long term, it's near a resistance level. It gets through here, it could fly. If you ask me my target for the next leg up, it would be high 60s. It may get to 70. That's a big move from 55. We have a question on AMAT. AMAT's in a falling wedge, long-term declining channel type pattern after a big run up. On a long-term basis, this is still above the trend line. I just don't want to see this drop under, and I would stop under 158 because at that point, we could see 148 and even 135. For now, though, a move above 187 gets me more bullish, and your targets then are going to be about 215 and 245. You got that, Teresa? Viking, VKTS, no, it wasn't requested earlier. I was very high in the stock back in here when it broke out. Matter of fact, I had a swing on it. This is a long 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. This is wave 4. Now, I don't know because it broke support. It did fill the gap. So this is right on teetering on a breakdown. I would have thought the stock would have run by now. It's waiting for news and or waiting for a takeover. That's what I keep hearing. Company's going to be taken out. This is in a 1, 2, 3, 4 dangerous pattern because the fifth wave could take it down to 30. 33. So my next target is 33 if it cracks 39. On the other side of the coin, if we see this above 46 and a half, 3/4 with any energy, we might run to 53, 54. As for you, Patrick. And I think we're near the end here. If you got some questions, well, throw it out at me right now. Anybody else with a symbol they want me to take a look at for them? ZS for Teresa. Z-scaler. Teresa, it looked great here, and it looked especially great there when it broke out, but it never followed through and came down. Then it broke support. This is not a stock I like. There's so many gorgeous bullish charts. Why try to bottom pick something that looks like this? I would rather pay 197, know that it's broken back out, than sit there at 185 and watch it drift lower or go nowhere. So, quite frankly, Teresa, not for me, not until it breaks back out again. And again, that's got to be really back above that line there. Broken chart doesn't do anything for me at all. SLV. Okay, I don't like precious metals. I don't know why everybody does. I mean, the long-term chart, of course, I liked it when it broke out there, but awfully choppy, isn't it? Right now, look, on silver, I prefer following AGQ, but it's got the same chart. This is a falling wedge, and it's on the trend line. See this here? So this has to hold here, or it's going to come down towards 23.4. If it should break out with a price volume thrust back above 28.825, that's where I get very interested. That's where I get interested, and very interested over 29.5, where I think it can go to 33 to 35. While we're on the subject, AGQ, you can see a very similar pattern. But to me, they're broken charts. I only trade charts that I think have a chance of advancing. That was a much more tough go. Question on AVGO from Vince Singh. Hey, Vince, there he is again. Again, folks, I invite everybody to join my site at www.techtech, TraderTrader, TRADER.com, and sign up for 2 weeks for free and trade with me for a couple weeks, and you'll see the difference. Today, 4 of the top 5 stocks on my board were Tech Trader swings. Amazing. Okay, on Avgo, big earnings report, fantastic chart. Despite the semiconductor group not doing well, this one looks terrific. Why? A large breakaway gap on big volume, followed by a pullback retest, and then a narrowing coil type or wedge pattern tells me it ain't done yet. If it pops to the upside, looking for 260. Once it gets through the top of the channel, if it accelerates, it might be a lot more than that. Great chart. No reason to think it's going down. I would stop under 217 though. You're welcome, Teresa. And anybody else with a quick question for me? Well, I think that concludes our day. If you have a couple of questions, do it now. I got a little extra time because I'm the last speaker. If anybody wants to throw a last second symbol in there, please do it now. Doesn't look like it. Well, okay, everybody, I appreciate you being with me today. I know that it's been a long day at the Timing Research webinar, and I'm the last speaker. Thanks for being here. Thanks for waiting for me or coming on when I was on. Again, I've been doing this for 60 big ones, 60 years, folks, believe it or not. I just turned 78, and I have the energy of a 30-year-old, and I challenge any 30-year-old to an energy contest. I'm a type A type of guy, as you can tell. But anyway, a lot of fun in my room, a lot of money being made, and hopefully some of you will join me next week at thetechtrader.com. Take care, Sabina, and anybody else that in here. Ara, appreciate you being here. And again, join me at thetechtrader.com. I think you guys, once you're in, it's hard to leave. It's addictive. Take it easy, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye all.